Hey, John Ferguson Smart here. I got a question recently. I'm reading it now. How can you measure if you've successfully automated your tests? At first glance, I thought, well, isn't it obvious? And then I thought about it. It's actually a really good question. It's actually not obvious at all. See, knowing how to know if a test actually tests something correctly is a major skill. It's very, very important to know that, because I see so many tests, so many automated tests that have basically assertions that don't assert anything or assert just the minimal information. Some of them even just check that a return value is not null. Some of them don't check anything at all. They just step through the application and hope that it doesn't crash. It's very rare, I find, to see tests that go to the trouble of actually thinking about what they should be asserting. So one trick I like to do is any test that I'm writing, I don't start from the beginning, I start from the end. What the outcome, or what I like to call the consequence. What is the consequence of this action? What is the outcome we're looking for? And how can we prove that that has actually happened? Now, things like we might click on a button and see a confirmation message. Is that confirmation message enough? Do we check that the confirmation message is present and then say it's all good? Do we check that a message has been sent to some server? Do we check that some data has been updated in a database? Do we check that another record has been correctly transitioned to a new state? There are lots of different outcomes that we might need to check. And simply checking that an application steps through the user journey and doesn't crash really is not enough to give confidence that the application does what it is supposed to do. So my suggestion is start from the outcome, start at the end, and make sure you think about what you are really trying to test. And a lot of testers, what they struggle with is to know actually how to do those tests. That is a coding skill, how to write good assertions and how to actually go to the trouble of coding assertions that mean something. It's hard work. It takes skill. It takes practice. So that's why it's so important to keep practicing your coding skills, to keep doing coding katas, to go beyond just simple scripting. To be a good test automation engineer, you need to have a deep understanding of coding. You need to practice it a lot. It only comes through practice. It's nothing magic. And I believe that is true even if you're using low code or no code tools. If you don't have those development skills, you're not going to be able to do the assertions that give you confidence that the system does what it does. So that was my response to the question, and I thought it was a really good question. So thanks for listening, folks.